Dr. John Arnold will be throwing out the first pitch. But before we do that, his wife, Jean, is in the crowd today. And I do believe it is her birthday. So give her a big happy birthday. You know, we have to do the most important part of the household first before we move on. Dr. Arnold opened his medical practice at Bushnell in July 1982. He is originally from Carthage and grew up on a farm outside of Carthage. He is the oldest of 9 children. His wife is originally from Colchester. They thought Bushnell would be a perfect place to raise their family. His daughters Jill and Bridget are both graduates of BPC High School, and his wife Jeannie taught at BPC High School for 32 years. Contrary to rumors, Dr. Arnold doesn't plan on retiring anytime soon. When Coach Arnold contacted him about throwing out this first pitch at the game today, he was somewhat reluctant. When he told his wife what he'd agreed to, she was horrified. Is that true, Jeannie? Yes, it's true. She asked him, when was the last time he threw a baseball? He replied, maybe when I was 7. If you look at him today, you can tell that was a while ago. I'm just reading what was wrote. I didn't write this. I want to point that out. He contacted good friends who contacted the coach from WIU who was willing to work with him. He has been practicing, so today his throw will be successful or a failure. Doesn't really matter. But what he learned from this adventure is that you have to try. You need to get out of your comfort zone and give everything a whirl. The WIU coach sent him a text telling him to have fun, and he has done that. Thank you, Coach Arnold, for providing him this adventure, but please don't call him again to do it. Good luck to the Spartans on the rest of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dr. John Arnold. Whenever you're ready, sir, it's all you. Oh, the tip, that means it's going to be a fastball. He tipped the glove. From the stretch. That's not a bad toss. Not a bad toss. Give Dr. Arnold a big round of applause.
Welcome to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. We're here at Bushnell High School. We'll be seeing the Spartans of Bushnell-Prairie City hosting the West Prairie Cyclones.
The West Prairie Cyclones. We'll do it in their batting order. Batting first, wearing number 11, the shortstop, Braden Copeland. Batting second, the pitcher, number 10, Matt Whitman. Batting third, the catcher, number 28, Austin Nelson. Batting fourth, center fielder, number 33, Brody Cordell. Batting fifth, the birthday boy. Just got his license, I believe. The first baseman, number 25, Eli DeCounter. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 21, Jace Brown. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 23, Cade Chambers. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 14, Cam Melvin. And rounding out the lineup, the left fielder, number 17, Cole Kneff.
There you heard Mr. Dwayne Hulett announcing the starters for the West Prairie Cyclones. And now I'll turn it over to him for the Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans.
We'll start with the right fielder. We'll do the lineup when they come up to hit. We'll start with the right fielder. Number 8, Jaden Powell. The center fielder, number 4, Xander Jones. The left fielder is, I gotta look through the lineup, he threw it at Evan Ash. No, wrong number. I psyched you out. It's number 16, Jaden Robinson. The designated hitter, which will be hitting in that spot, is number 5, Caden Yoko. Starting at shortstop, number 2, Connor Palm. The second baseman, number 9, Dylan King. The third baseman, number 25, Nick Jones. The first baseman, number 10, Braxton Kemp. The man behind the plate, for number 3, Thomas Anderson. And starting on the mound for your Spartans, we're number 13, Talon Love. The Cyclones are coached by Grant Bland. The Spartans are coached by Dave Arnold, assisted by Brandon Rich and Steve Martin.
There you have it, the starting lineups for this afternoon's contest. Once again, you're watching TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH here at Bushnell High School. Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans taking on the West Prairie Spartans, West Prairie Cyclones.
If you want a drink or a soda, the concession stand at the football field is open.
For the defense for Bushnell-Prairie City, Connor Palm will be batting first. The starting shortstop, Dylan King, at second base. Thomas Anderson behind the plate catching. Talon Love on the hill pitching. Xander Jones playing center field. Nick Jones at third base. Robinson in left field. Braxton Kemp at first. And Jaden Powell in right. That's a look at Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans defense. Right now the battery is at work. Talon Love tossing from the mound to Thomas Anderson. And there's a throw down the second, signaling that the warm-ups have come to a finish. West Prairie's first batter is Braden Copeland, and he is the shortstop. Braden Copeland to start off for the West Prairie Cyclones. There we go. Here on this windy afternoon. And here's the first pitch by Love. A little outside called by Dave Hasley behind the plate. On the bases we have Mr. Gerald Lowe. Second pitch. A little outside once again. Copeland has that batter's count at 2-0. And the third pitch is high. That moves the count to 3-0. This is one of those classic stands where you usually don't get the green light. You end up getting the red light to just hold back and see where this pitch goes. And it's low for ball 4. Copeland, the first batter, and the first base runner for the Cyclones. Now coming up to bat, Matthew Whitman, today's pitcher for the Cyclones. BBC Spartans are coached by Dave Arnold. He's been at it for a long time, and West Prairie's coach is Grant Bland. Preparing for the first pitch to Whitman, and it is low and inside for ball 1. You got Braden Copeland taking his lead off first base, being watched by Talon Love before he tosses the pitch. And that is the first strike of the ball game. Bat at the letters on Whitman. That brings up a 1-1 count. Love steps off, doesn't throw over, sends Copeland back to first base. We're at a 1-1 count here on Matthew Whitman. Looks like a little bit of a hit and run attempt. Ball gets fouled off for 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter, Whitman. Copeland got a nice jump on that, trying for that hit and run. Now the ball goes loose after that foul ball. Getting ready to collect ourselves for Talon Love to throw. It is a 1-2 count right now on Whitman. The pitch it is high to even up the count at 2-2. See Copeland take a nice little lead. And ball 3, full count. Throw down to first, tries to catch him off guard, but Copeland gets back with ease. Full count right now on Whitman. Love's pitch is off, and it is outside. That's 2 consecutive walks by Talon Love. Have Copeland and Whitman on for the Cyclones. And now coming up to the plate is the catcher, Austin Nelson. He wears number 28. He's got 2 ducks on the pond trying to get the first runs in for the game. And here's the pitch. It is inside and low. Came decently close to hitting him, but I'm sure he wants that. He wants that at least 1 RBI to start off big here in the first inning for the Cyclones. Pitch is outside, and both runners take off for an uncontested steal both ways. Now we have Cyclones on second and third base. We've got a man 90 feet away for an RBI for Austin Nelson. Let's see what happens here. Here's the pitch. Nice pitch, nice swing. Just gets past him for strike 1 here at this at bat. Cyclones looking to do something here. And there's the pitch, and a little bit inside, and he takes a whack at it and does not connect for strike 2. Talon Love's about ready to deliver. There's the delivery up the middle. One's going to score for the Cyclones, and he's getting waved around. Whitman getting waved around, and 2 score for the Cyclones here in the first inning. Take a early lead, no outs. We've got number 33, the cleanup batter, Brody Cordell, and he is the center fielder. Right now batting is Brody Cordell, the center fielder for the Cyclones, and we have Austin Nelson on first base, who just brought in 2 runs for the Cyclones. Count is 2-0 on Cordell. And there's the pitch. Cordell right down the middle, swings just over it for a 2-1 count now on Cordell. We've got Nelson on first, taking a small lead there at first. And there's a pitch inside. Oh, calls it an inside corner strike. Not much of a lead there at first once again, but he does take off for a little bit of a hit and run attempt, and he missed and went off the catcher. From my view, I was thinking that was a foul ball there for a second, but it just went off the catcher. Dropped strike 3, but first base was occupied. There is the first out of the contest here today. Now at the bat, number 25, the first baseman, Eli DeCounter. And we have Nelson on second base now. There's the pitch. Strike call. Ball, the strike was about at the knees on DeCounter. Nice looking lead at second base, and he takes off. The throw to third, it's a close play, and he stands up, and he just gets in, just barely. And that gets some fans excited on both sides there. We've got Nelson now 90 feet away from scoring. DeCounter trying to get that RBI. That's standing 90 feet away. Here's Talon Love's pitch. And contact made. It could be a blooper. Yes, it is a blooper. And that will score. Nelson to counter with the RBI for the West Prairie Cyclones. Now coming up, the third baseman, number 21, Jace Brown.
Third baseman, number 21, Jace Brown.
West Prairie Cyclones doing a really good job just putting the ball in play, getting the RBIs, doing what they need to do. Pitch number 1 to Brown is inside and low, goes into the dirt. Nice stop by the Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans catcher, Thomas Anderson. Standing strong back there. Pitch number 2 is ball number 2. That one up at the bill of the helmet for ball number 2. 2-0 count on Jace Brown. The pitch to Jace Brown. Outside. 3-0 count. Jace Brown probably going to take this one unless he sees it just right down the middle of the plate. And that is low for ball 4. That is the third walk of the first inning by Talon Love. And here comes Coach Dave Arnold to call a timeout. He'll be speaking with his battery here, and he'll be bringing the whole infield in for a little talk. We have one out here in the top half of the first inning. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I am Brandon Thomas. And yes, 1 o'clock start this afternoon. Some people think that's a little different, but they do this every year. I can remember whenever I was coaching high school baseball, whenever they did this. So now the timeout by Coach Arnold is over with. Cade Chambers for the Cyclones coming up to the plate. With one out, fresh count. First pitch is high, ball 1. We have Cordell and the counter on the base paths. Pitch number 2 is strike over the inside corner. Evens up the count 1-1. Next pitch is outside. Thomas Anderson doing a very, very nice job standing strong for the Spartans. They're behind the plate as their catcher. 2-1 count. Here's the delivery by Talon Love. Outside corner pitch, taking the swing, and it is Cade Chambers, 2-2 count. Talon Love hoping that something can get done here for out number 2 here in the top half of the first. And strike 3 called, looking, that is the Sports Corner strikeout by Talon Love. That's the second out of this top half of the inning. Here comes the 8th batter, number 14, right fielder Cam Melvin. First pitch right down the middle. He just kind of looked at it, Dave Hasley behind the plate. He says, strike. The second pitch is outside. Really good work once again by Thomas Anderson back there behind the plate. The count is even at 1-1. A little high, it looked like. 2-1 count. And here's the next pitch, and he's looking, and it is a strike call on Cam Melvin. 2-2 count. Here with 2 outs here in the top of the first, and here's the pitch, and it is outside to make the count full. Got 2 men on bases for the Cyclones. Talon Love trying to end this inning here for the Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans. Cam Melvin trying to continue it, and there's a low pitch, and he's swinging for strike 3 and a sports corner strikeout here in the middle of the first. It is the Cyclones of West Prairie 3, Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans 0.
You get the opportunity to see so many different things that if you worked at a bigger hospital, you may not be able to see. You know, work is not just about the job, it's also about the people that work alongside you, and we have the best teamwork. They're like a second family. Sometimes you can't get that feeling other places.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. We're here at Bushnell High School. We're heading into the bottom of the first inning. West Prairie leads 3-0. Jumped out to that 3-0 lead. There end up being 3 walks there by Talon Love. They're in the top half of the first, and then he ended up catching on. He ended up catching some strikes there at the end. He had 2 strikeouts. So he kept his composure. Coach Dave Arnold had to come out and talk to the entire team. Hopefully that ends up giving them some hope and promise here in this afternoon's contest. Right now, West Prairie's pitcher, Matthew Whitman, is warming up, tossing the ball to his catcher and teammate, Austin Nelson. 2 guys who came up big here in the top of the first offensively. Let's see what this battery can do here in the bottom half of the first. Once again, you're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, and we are brought to you by MDH, and I am Brandon Thomas. I do have Dwayne Hulett beside me, but he is the PA announcer today. And a lot of people are coming in here thinking that we're the concession stand, where we're actually the press box right now. So we're going to see the Spartans for the first time offensively here very soon. And Connor Palm, the shortstop, number 2, will be starting off hitting for Coach Arnold's Spartans. And the warm-ups signal right there, the catcher thrown down to second base, shows that they are ready to play. So once again, Connor Palm will be the opening batter for the Spartans.
Connor Palm.
Little meeting between the infielders and Matthew Whitman before he throws his first pitch. Shows some good team spirit, some good team sportsmanship. That's something that really gets me pumped up as a sportscaster, to see that kind of sportsmanship and leadership. And here we go, Whitman looking ready to throw his first pitch to Connor Palm. And here we go, and it is low and in the dirt for ball number 1. West Prairie are coached by Grant Bland. And pitch number 2, once again in the dirt, and that is ball 2. 2-0 count for Connor Palm, being patient to swing that stick. Pitch number 3 inside, nearly ended up nicking the clothing of Palm. 3-0 count. And pitch number 4 is outside and maybe a little bit low, and that sends Connor Palm down to first base. Second batter for the Spartans, Dylan King, number 9, the second baseman for the Spartans. Connor Palm takes the lead off first base, gets looked at. Pitch comes low for ball one. Talon Love, he started off with a few balls before he ended up getting a strike, and it looks like Whitman may end up doing the same thing. Next pitch is low, and it gets past the catcher, Austin Nelson, and that sends Connor Palm down to second freely and uncontested. 2-0 count upcoming for Dylan King. Now Palm is at second. King looking to make some contact, see what can be done. Pitch right down the middle, looked at by King for strike one. Spartans looking to do something here like the Cyclones did in the top half. Here's the pitch, and strike two is called. King has looked at the last two strikes. Here comes the next pitch by Whitman, and it is foul tipped, and Nelson hangs tough back there, and he catches it to get strike three. And the first out of the first inning. Catcher Thomas Anderson, who's done a really good job behind the plate. Let's see what he can do offensively here. Pitch number one is looked at for strike one. 0-1 count against Thomas Anderson. And Whitman's next pitch, right there, right down the middle, and looked at once again. 0-2 count. See, like I was saying, Whitman, he started out with some balls, and now he's actually catching on and throwing really good. Oh, and I say that, and Anderson ends up taking one in the rib cage. Looks to be fine, appears to be fine. He hustles down to first base, but I'm sure Coach there at first base is looking at him. Yes, he is. Now we see the pitcher, number 13, Talon Love, looking to help himself out here in the bottom of the first. Here is the first pitch by Whitman to Love, and it is strike number one. Nice cut, nice look. He may have pulled his head just a little bit. He's really wanting to make contact. You can really tell that by this at bat. Here's pitch number two inside. It gets past Nelson, the catcher, and it moves both Spartans up 90 more feet. And now you have one that is 90 feet away for Talon Love to get the first RBI of the game for the Spartans and the first run for the Spartans. Right now it is 3-0. West Prairie leads Bushnell-Prairie City 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. Pitcher versus pitcher right now. Whitman pitching to Talon Love. And Love looks at a pitch that looked pretty good, and Dave Hasley thought it did too, so he calls it strike number two. 1-2 count on Talon Love. The Anderson taking a nice lead there at second, and a strike three on Talon Love for a Sports Corner strikeout. Second out of the inning. Bushnell really looking and hoping for something here. Let's see what Xander Jones, the center fielder, number 4, can do for the Spartans. Here's pitch number one, and it is called a strike. He looked at it. Pitch looked at about the knees or so, and Dave Hasley calls the strike. Swinging, and ball goes to the left side of the field. Foul. 0-2 count on Xander Jones. It would be really nice for the Spartans to pull something out here. Let's see what Xander Jones can do. Here is the pitch by Whitman, and there is the second hit by pitch, and that loads the bases up. This is the first time in this afternoon's contest, either way, we have seen the bases loaded. Number 25, Nick Jones, the third baseman for the Spartans, will be stepping into the box right now. The battery, the pitcher, and the catcher are talking, and they're done. Here comes Nelson back behind the plate. trying to get Whitman relaxed. Okay, you hit 2 batters. Now let's get out of this inning. We've got 2 outs. Let's go is probably what Nelson was saying. First pitch is up and called ball 1. On Nick Jones, the third baseman. Here's pitch number 2. Looked really good, and it is called a strike, 1-1 count. Last pitch, Nick Jones just kind of looked at it, and it got called a strike to set us at a 1-1. Here we go. Ball up in there, in foul territory, first baseman for West Prairie there. The first baseman is Eli DeCounter, and that ends the first inning. West Prairie 3, Bushnell-Prairie City 0.
3 left. Being a 1 complete inning, the score is 3-0 in favor of the Cyclones. Once again, don't forget the concession stand is open at the football field. Also, restrooms are available there as well.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available, so with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
I like to make time for my patients. I don't ever want anyone to feel rushed. I'm happy to sit and talk for as long as they need. And you know, sometimes that puts me behind in my schedule, but I think it's worth it. People know if they need me that I'll be there.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. We're entering the second inning here at Bushnell-Prairie City High School, where they host the West Prairie Cyclones. West Prairie jumped out to a 3-0 lead here in the first inning. Bushnell-Prairie City, they made a run. They got the bases loaded, but Whitman put a stop to the Spartans' dynamic offense there that they tried to have. First pitch of the second inning is low, called ball 1. The number 9 batter, Cole Cuniff, the left fielder for the Cyclones, is ready for pitch number 2 at this at bat, and that will even up the count. He was looking at strike 1. Count is 1-1. Talon Love on the mound for the Spartans, and here comes pitch number 3, high and outside to make the count 2-1. Their last inning, we've seen Talon Love struggling a little bit at the beginning. Hopefully he's caught some heat, and it does look like it. Ew, little inside and low for a 3-1 count. Love the Cuniff for a inside corner strike to make a full count, 3-2 count. Talon Love trying to be strong here on the mound here at this batter in the number 9 hole. And he throws a nice little curve, and he gets him looking for a sports corner strikeout. Now the number 1 hitter, Braden Copeland, who is the shortstop, wearing number 11. Last time he got on base via a walk. The first pitch from Love here at this bat to Copeland is up high, ball 1. This is the second batter of the second inning. Nobody on right now with one out. Pitch a little low. Make a 2-0 count on Copeland. Copeland, he's one of those kids, Braden Copeland, you probably remember from basketball. Now we're here in baseball, and he is the leadoff hitter for the Spartans. And that ball is inside and low. Once again, Anderson holding very strong back here. 3-1 count. And a pitch right at the knees to make it a full count. Ball 4 delivered to Copeland. That's the second time he's been walked here in the contest today. Now Matthew Whitman, the pitcher, wearing number 10, he will be going to the plate once again. And he was another person who got on base via walk there just the last inning in the first inning. Copeland takes a decent-sized lead there at first. Here comes the pitch, and the pitch is up for ball 1. 1-0 count to Whitman. Love really looking at Copeland, and Copeland takes off. Not the best of pitches, and it gets away from the catcher, Anderson, and freely gets Copeland over to second base. Here's the pitch by Love to Whitman, up and outside for 3 balls and no strikes. And you got Copeland waiting on second base. Next pitch is up, and once again we see the first 2 batters in the 1 and the 2 hole end up reaching base by a walk.
Now batting.
Brings up Austin Nelson, the catcher.
28, Austin Nelson.
Nelson ended up last time with a nice base hit for an RBI and the first run of the contest today. Pitch number 1 at this at bat is hit, and it is in short center and caught by the center fielder. Almost kind of looked like Copeland was going to tag up, but he goes back to second. Now we have out number 2 here in inning 2.
Number 33,
Brody Cordell, center fielder, up the bat with 2 outs, looking to add to the runs, and we got a double steal on and uncontested, and there's a strike call. We've got men on second, third base for West Prairie Cyclones. Talon Love looking to put a stop to this threat at more runs. Ball pitched, 1-1 count. Talon Love to throw the third pitch of this at bat, and it is fouled. Ball hit the ground and then made contact with number 33, Brody Cordell's leg. 1-2 count. Talon Love wanting to end this inning into the middle of the second. It is into the middle of the second. It is Cyclones 3, Spartans none. And we will be right back here at Bushnell-Prairie City High School as the Spartans take on the Cyclones.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available. So with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We're now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that
And welcome back to Bushnell-Prairie City High School TSSR Game Time line brought to you by MDH. The Spartans will be leading off the bottom of the second. First pitch is a strike. We have Yoakum up, who is the DH for left fielder Robinson. Yoakum swings and misses for strike two. Whitman still pitching for the Cyclones. And pitch number 3 is outside to make the count 1-2. A good waste pitch by Whitman for the Cyclones. And that is a Sports Corner strikeout. Yoakum goes down swinging for out number 1.
First baseman number 10, Braxton Kemp.
Braxton Kemp, the first baseman for the Spartans. Second batter for the Spartans here in the bottom of the second. Pitch up and in, and he takes a swing at it for strike 1. This is Kemp's first attempt, and pitch number 2 is up to even up the count 1-1. Whitman set for pitch number 3 to Kemp, and it's right there. Kemp looking. Count now 1-2. And back-to-back Sports Corner strikeouts for Whitman of the Cyclones.
Right fielder, number 8.
Now batting right fielder number 8, Jaden Powell. Number 9 hole hitter here in the bottom of the second inning. Whitman's first pitch to him is upcoming, and here it is, and it is high for a ball. Here on this windy afternoon in Bushnell-Prairie City, pitch number 2 evens up the count 1-1. Jaden Powell wearing number 8 and the right fielder. And here's the pitch from Whitman. A swing, kind of a golf swing there for strike 2. 1-2 count coming to Jaden Powell. Whitman looking for his third strikeout, and he gets it. Once again, Sports Corner strikeout by Matthew Whitman. After 2, it is the West Prairie Cyclones on top of the Spartans of Bushnell, 3-0. We will take a break. We will be back with the top of the third inning.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available. So with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like they're needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. We're in the top of the third inning. Number 25, Eli DeCounter, will be starting off for the Spartans. Talon Love still pitching for the Spartans. And pitch number 1 swung at by DeCounter for strike 1. Talon Love with the second pitch here in the third inning. Nice looking pitch painting the outside corner for strike 2, 0-2 count. Talon Love on top of this count with Eli DeCounter. Pitch number 3 strikes in a row. Ball gets past the catcher, gets dropped by the catcher, thrown down to first for out number 1, and that is a strikeout. 2-3 put out for a Sports Corner strikeout. Now batting is Jace Brown, third baseman for the Cyclones. Pitch number 1 is a ball by Love to Jace Brown. Next pitch is Brown swinging for strike. 1-1 count. Love's delivery upcoming for a batted ball right up the middle. Nobody can get to it. Base hit by number 21, the third baseman for the Cyclones, Jace Brown. Now second baseman Cade Chambers looking to do the same thing as his counterpart just did, Jace Brown. We're here in the top of the third inning. Love's delivery inside for ball 1. Brown takes his lead. Love looks at him, and then he delivers the pitch for a nice looking curveball for a strike. 1-1 count to Chambers. Ball outside makes it 2-1. We've got 1 out here, man on first. Talon Love ready to deliver. And once again, a strike. Looked at by number 23, Chambers. 2-2 count. Next pitch is low and in the dirt. And once again, got to talk about that toughness of Thomas Anderson behind the plate, keeping everything in front of him, not giving the Cyclones any free bases. Full count pitch, and it is outside. I just mentioned that, and that's the first time the ball has got past Anderson. It's kind of a wild pitch now. We got men on first and second for the Cyclones. Bringing up number 14, Cam Melvin, who plays right field for Coach Bland's Cyclones. First pitch to Melvin is a strike. Melvin swinging, doesn't make any contact, so 0-1 count. Here comes the next pitch here in this 0-1 count inside for ball one. 1-1 count. Got two men with the Cyclones on base on first and second. Ball gets batted down the right field line. Foul. Nice cut, nice swing by Cam Melvin. That moves the count to 1-2. Love delivers, and a close pitch, and it is called, and he is looking for strike three for Sports Corner. Strikeout. That is out number 2. Cole Knuff, the left fielder, looking to continue this inning for the Cyclones. First pitch down in the dirt. Nice block by Thomas Anderson. 1-0 count. Cole Knuff is the number 9 hole batter for the Cyclones. Pitch number 2 right down the pipe for strike 1. Had Knuff looking. 1-1 count. The next pitch is right here, and it is high and outside. No good for ball number 2. 2 outs, man on first and second. Ball is inside, and it hits Knuff and sends him down to first. And we see for the first time in the contest, West Prairie having the bases loaded. The Spartans of Bushnell had the bases loaded in the first and could not connect and take advantage. Let's see what the Cyclones do here. Now you've got the very talented and athletic Braden Copeland back at the plate for the Cyclones. First pitch to Copeland is wide and outside, and here comes the runner from third, and he will score. That is number 21, Jace Brown, getting the first runs here in the third for the Cyclones off of a wild pitch by Love. That makes it 4-0 with the Cyclones in the lead. First pitch down low. There we go. Got the score right there now. Talon Love's second pitch is up high on Copeland. 2-0 count. Copeland has been on first both times he's been at bat due to a walk. Love delivers, and it is low for ball 4. That's 3 times here in this afternoon's contest. Copeland is reached by walk. Bases loaded for Matthew Whitman, the pitcher for the Cyclones. I'm sure the Spartans fans are like, come on, let's get out of this with just 1 run given up. 2 outs, bases loaded here in the top half of the third. Whitman's first pitch, nobody's going to get to that on the infield. That's going to score number 23, Cade Chambers. 5-0, West Prairie on top. Next batter, Austin Nelson, the catcher for the Cyclones, looking to continue this 2-out rally that the Cyclones have. Here comes the first pitch from Talon Love of the Spartans, and it is up for ball number 1, 1-0 count. Bases are still and once again loaded for the West Prairie Cyclones. Love with the delivery, and it is outside for ball 2, 2-0 on Nelson. Talon Love been struggling with the the first two batters. Now let's see what he can do with Nelson. Ball 3 to Nelson, up and outside. Talon loves delivery. Let's see what happens here. And it is down the middle, and it is swung. Right, ball hit to right field. Right fielder struggling a little bit. Ball ends up going to the ground, scoring 1 Cyclone, 2 Cyclones, and 3 Cyclones score on that E9. That makes the score here in the top of the third inning. West Prairie 8, Bushnell 0. Brody Cordell, the center fielder, up. First pitch, one hopper to the second baseman, and that is out number 3. The Cyclones score 5 here in the top half of the third. We will be back with the bottom third here on TSSR Game Time Live.
You get the opportunity to see so many different things that if you worked at a bigger hospital, you may not be able to see. You know, work is not just about the job, it's also about the people that work alongside you. And we have the best teamwork. They're like a second family. Sometimes you can't get that feeling other places.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available, so with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. We just seen West Prairie score 5 runs in the top of the third off of 3 hits.
You can go get ready to catch the bus at this time. Thank you.
We're here in the top or the bottom of the third. Palm will be starting off for the Spartans, hitting. Spartans have just been struggling a little bit. They had the bases juiced. They had the bases loaded at the end of the first and got stopped by Whitman's intensity there on the mound. And Connor Palm, he will be starting off for the Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans here in the bottom of the third. Whitman's still on the mound for the Cyclones. Right now warming up to Nelson.
Shortstop, number 2, Connor Palm.
And once again, you hear Dwayne Hulett on the PA. I am Brandon Thomas, and you are listening and watching TSSR Game Time Live. And as always, brought to you by MDH. Connor Palm looking to start off big for Coach Arnold and the Spartans, trying to get something started here. Let's see what the big number 2 can do. Connor Palm, as I was saying earlier about Braden Copeland, very talented athlete on the basketball court. Now we get to see both of them facing off against each other here on the turf of the baseball diamond. First pitch from Whitman to Connor Palm is coming, and here it is. And Palm, nice swing, one hopper to the shortstop to Copeland, and Copeland makes a nice play for out number 1 here in the bottom of the third.
Second baseman, number 9, Dylan King.
Dylan King, second baseman for the Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans. Whitman looking to start off with pitch number 1. Here it comes, right down the middle, swung by King and missed for strike 1. No one on for the Spartans, 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Whitman's second pitch, and it's a light down to the third baseman. Third baseman cannot make a play, and we see Dylan King get a base hit here in the bottom of the third. Now coming up, Thomas Anderson, catcher.
The pitcher, number 3, Thomas Anderson.
Got one out. We got Dylan King on first base. We got Thomas Anderson at the plate, and the first pitch is outside for ball number 1. Whitman for West Prairie sets, and next pitch is outside and up on Anderson for ball number 2. 2-1 count. 2-0 count, excuse me, to Thomas Anderson. Next pitch is looked at by Anderson for strike 1 from Whitman. West Prairie, like I said, they scored 5 runs off 3 hits in last top of the inning. Next pitch is looked at by Anderson for strike 2. 2-2 count. Count knotted up for Anderson. Here comes the next pitch by Whitman. Next pitch is low. Makes it 3-0. Ball gets past the catcher, but King does not move to second. Actually, didn't really get past the catcher. He just couldn't find it. It was actually right next to him. It had me confused as well. I think Dave Hasley behind the plate may have helped him a little bit. But let's see what happens here on this full count. And it's looked at for strike 3. Sports Corner strikeout. That is out number 2. Here in the bottom of the third, pitcher Talon Love looking to help himself out here offensively at the plate. Whitman's pitch to the opposing pitcher is low for the first pitch of the at-bat. 1-0 on Talon Love. And we still have King waiting on first base to get moved up or moved in. Next pitch to Love is a strike. He looks at one at about the middle of the thighs, maybe upper knees. Whitman staying strong up there on the hill. Throws over, tries to pick off, and King is safe at first. Whitman's next pitch upcoming to Love, and Love, nice cut. Just doesn't make any contact for strike number 2. King takes a okay-sized lead off first. Here comes the pitch, and strike 3. Another Sports Corner strikeout for Whitman, and that is out number 3. We will be back here on TSSR Game Time Live with the top half of inning number 4. Join us when we come right back.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. 8-0 going into the top of the fourth. West Prairie, they scored 3 runs in the first, none in the second, and 5 in the last inning in the third. Talon Love pitching for the Spartans. He is still on the hill for Coach Dave Anderson, or Dave Arnold, excuse me. I've known the man forever, and I can't get his name right. Dave Arnold, number 25, Eli DeCounter, the first baseman, will start it off for the currently leading West Prairie Cyclones. DeCounter, he's another one that we seen a lot of on the basketball court. Now we see him playing first base and being a very tough batter against Love. First pitch from Love to DeCounter is outside for ball 1. Here comes pitch number 2 at the bat. Low in the dirt. Ends up going to the backstop. You haven't seen many balls go to the backstop on either team. Both catchers, I just really got to brag on them, doing a very, very nice job for both respected squads. Next pitch from Love is a strike, and it gets fouled off to make the count. 2 balls, 1 strike to DeCounter. And we see number 21, Jace Brown, getting that foul ball. Showing some hustle, showing some team spirit. Next pitch from Love to DeCounter, up the middle, hit to the center fielder, gets past the center fielder. That's going to be giving him some extra bases. He's going to go all the way to third at least. The throw misses the cutoff, and DeCounter's going to come all the way home to make the score 9-0 in favor of the West Prairie Cyclones.
Now batting third baseman number 21, Jace Brown.
Jace Brown is the next batter for the Cyclones. See what happened there? That was a base hit by DeCounter. Would have been E8. Maybe 2 errors on the center fielder, also on the throw, to make the score 9-8 here, or 9-0 here in the top half of the 4th inning. We see official behind the plate, Mr. Dave Hasley, wiping off the plate. Looks like catcher is working on his helmet right now as well, and catcher is Thomas Anderson, name that has been brought up quite a bit here offensively and defensively on this afternoon's contest. Now we're ready to get back to live action. Talon Love facing off against Jace Brown. First pitch to Brown here at this bat here in the 4th is up. And ball 1 gets delivered by Talon Love. Talon Love sets, and pitch number 2 away. Hit to left field. It's going down, and nice track down by the left fielder of the Spartans, which is Robinson. Makes a nice catch there in left field for the out. The first out of the 4th inning. Cade Chambers up for the Cyclones. First pitch is outside for ball 1. We have 1 out, nobody on for the Cyclones. They have scored 1 run with their first batter here in the 4th. Next pitch outside, called. 2-0 count to Chambers. Talon Love with the next pitch to Chambers. It is up and probably a little bit in from this view. 3-0 count. He might be getting the green light here with a 9-0 deficit. Pitch right down the middle looked at, so he just proved me wrong. 3-1 count now to Chambers. 4th inning, 9-0, 1 out. Next pitch is fouled off, and it is out of play. Nice hustle by Thomas Anderson to get there, but ball's just out of play, just out of reach. But I'm sure you could see that on the video that he really made a nice hustle. 2-2 count coming to Chambers. And here's the next pitch to Chambers from Love. And it is a Sports Corner strikeout. Chambers goes down swinging. 2 outs. Here in the top of the 4th. Cam Melvin, the next batter for the Cyclones, the right fielder. Talon Love's first pitch to him is a nice pitch. It gets foul tipped. Anderson hangs tight back there. Strike 1. Pitch number 2 at the bat is low. Nice stop by Anderson. Yeah, it's always good to see the catcher still working that hard whenever there isn't anybody on base. Still wanting to keep the ball in front of him. Very nice job. Next pitch, Love throws it, and it's down the middle, and it gets hit up the middle. Center fielder coming in, and it is caught for out number 3. Cyclones end up scoring 1 here in the 4th. In the top of the 4th, we will be right back here with the bottom half of the 4th inning. When we come back, don't go anywhere, folks.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
I like to make time for my patients. I don't ever want anyone to feel rushed. I'm happy to sit and talk for as long as they need. And sometimes that puts me behind in my schedule, but I think it's worth it. People know if they need me that I'll be there.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time line brought to you by MDH. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning here at Bushnell High School, Bushnell-Prairie City High School, as they take on the West Prairie Cyclones here at a 1 o'clock start here on this Monday afternoon. It's something that they do every year, and some people end up asking questions, aren't they in school? Well, it's kind of a tradition thing, and it's always good to see schools doing tradition things as such. And both schools not being very far from each other and knowing each other, that's what they get here. Number 4, Dylan King will be leading off for the Spartans here in the bottom of the 4th inning as the Spartans trail the Cyclones 9-0 currently. Here comes the pitch, and it is low. Correction, it is Xander Jones, the center fielder for the Spartans up. Jones steps out, calls a little timeout, and he comes back into the box waiting for Whitman's pitch. Whitman's pitch comes, and I had some nice movement on it. And Jones ends up swinging and not connecting, making the count 1-1. Next pitch, a little outside, off Nelson's catcher's mitt. 2-1 count. Whitman still on the mound for the Cyclones, pitching very good here thus far. And a foul ball right back. Here comes the on deck circle. Nick Jones grabbing the ball for Xander Jones. Foul ball. Here comes Whitman's next pitch to Xander Jones. And it's outside. Nelson couldn't reach it. Ball goes to the backstop. Dave Hasley throws out one of the balls. Must have had a marker and nick in it. That tends to happen, especially in high school baseball. Whitman's next pitch is a swinging strike 3 against Xander Jones for a Sports Corner strikeout. Number 25, the third baseman, Nick Jones for the Spartans. And that was number 1 out of the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to Nick Jones is over the outside corner, called strike. Whitman's next pitch up the middle. Ball hit to the second baseman. Second baseman 4-3 putout. Nice play by Cade Chambers to track down that hard hit grounder by Nick Jones. Next batter is Caden Yoakum, the designated hitter for the Spartans. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Whitman standing strong there on the hill for Coach Bland's West Prairie Cyclones. First pitch right down the middle, looked at by Yoakum for strike 1. Excuse me. Next pitch is outside, goes to the backstop. Hasley hands the ball to Nelson. And here comes on deck batter to get the ball. It's always good to see Dave Hasley and Gerald Lowe officiating together in baseball. They're 2 guys that I know quite well from coaching baseball and playing baseball. Next pitch is inside and called ball. 2-1 count from Whitman to Yoakum. And right back to the fence. Foul ball evens up the count 2-2. Yoakum trying to stay strong, trying to put the ball in play. He's definitely putting the bat on the ball here. Whitman's next pitch getting ready for Yoakum. And it's up and in to make it a 3-2 full count. Something we really haven't seen too much from Whitman. We've seen it a couple times. Let's see. And he walks Yoakum. I believe that's the first walk since the first inning by Whitman. Hey, he did have a couple of hit batsmen as well.
Number 10, Braxton Kemp.
Braxton Kemp to enter the batter's box once again for the Spartans. First pitch over the inside corner. Whitman doing a nice job, really nice job, painting the corners. Yoakum takes the lead off first. Pitch right down the middle looking for Kemp for strike 2 by Whitman. Whitman trying to get this inning over with and stranding a runner on first. Let's see what gets done here. Ball outside. Makes the count 1-2. Yoakum on first. Kemp at the plate. And, of course, Whitman on the mound. Here comes the pitch. Strike call, gets past the catcher. Catcher tries to throw out Yoakum at first. And the ball gets past. Kemp. He tried to get out at first. So now, that was a strikeout. E2. Spartans still have life here in the bottom of the 4th. Jaden Powell, the 9th hole hitter, up at the plate. He's got a man on first. He's got a man on third, 90 feet away. Spartans looking to be put on the board for the first time today. Pitch is up high, and Kemp, he might get an earful from Coach Dave Arnold for not seeing that. Ball did get past the catcher on that, and he ended up heading back to third. But you know what, Jaden Powell, he probably wants that ribby. He probably wants that RBI, so he may be thankful. All right, here we got the number 9 hole hitter, Jaden Powell facing Matthew Whitman. Whitman with the pitch down the middle. Strike call. 1-1 count. Whitman to Jaden Powell. Next pitch is right now, and it's outside off the catcher's mitt. Here comes Kempf, and that will put the Spartans on the board for the first time in the contest here today. West Prairie now leads 9-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. Pass the ball, brings in Kempf. Yoakum is on, or no, excuse me, Yoakum came in. Kempf is on third. Pitch gets foul tipped by Jaden Powell. Nelson keeps a hold of the ball. Next pitch, looking strike three, Sports Corner strike three. That ends inning number 4, and that will send us to break.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available, so with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
You get the opportunity to see so many different things that if you worked at a bigger hospital, you may not be able to see. You know, work is not just about the job, it's also about the people that work alongside you. And we have the best teamwork. They're like a second family. Sometimes you can't get that feeling other places.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. I am Brandon Thomas, bringing you today's contest, this afternoon's contest here at Bushnell High School between Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans, West Prairie Cyclones. West Prairie Cyclones leading, going into the top of the fifth, 9-1. We've been seeing Talon Love pitching for the Spartans, and now we've got Dylan King up on the hill.
DC on the mound, number 9. Dylan King.
So Dylan King is warming up, tossing the ball to his catcher, Thomas Anderson. West Prairie Cyclones been having Matthew Whitman pitching. He's been throwing very well for Coach Bland's squad. And Talon Love struggled a little bit, especially with Braden Copeland and Matthew Whitman both reaching bases every time by a walk. Now for the Spartans, number 11, like I just said, Braden Copeland will be leading off for the the Cyclones.
Now up, number 9 hitter,
Excuse me. Knuff is batting for the Spartans. I just seen one of the numbers, and I guess the 7 didn't show up. First pitch was called ball by King. King to Knuff, the number 9 hole hitter. Ball bounces before the plate for ball 2. There, I can tell the difference between 7 and 1 now, as number 11, Braden Copeland, gets the passed ball. Pitch number 3 in the dirt and stopped by Anderson. Dylan King looking to throw his first strike of the inning. And there it is, strike 1. 3-1 count. Dylan King to Cole Knuff. Knuff is the opening batter here in the top of the 5th. Next pitch is high. It's called a strike to make it a 3-2 count. Full count to Knuff coming, and that one Knuff looks at, and it is a Sports Corner strikeout. That is the first batter that Dylan King is faced here in the contest, and he starts it off looking great by striking out the number 9 hitter, Cole Knuff. Now we have our leadoff hitter for the West Prairie Cyclones, Braden Copeland. Copeland has been at the plate 3 times, and all 3 times he's reached by walk. Dylan King, this is the first time he's faced off against Copeland here in the contest. Next pitch outside. Makes the count 2-0. Copeland, I'm sure he's hoping to at least be able to get one base knock here in the contest. And there's ball 3 inside. Nearly gets him on the shoulder. King set for the 4th pitch of the at-bat, and it is low. And once again, Braden Copeland reaches by a walk. Another person who's been walked a lot here today coming up to the plate is Matthew Whitman. And I forgot to put the out up. There you go. And pickoff attempt, no good. Gets past the first baseman. That's going to send Copeland from first to third. And that's going to leave him 90 feet away for the continuing batter, Matthew Whitman. Top of the 5th, 9-1 currently as the score stands, with West Prairie in the favor on top of Bushnell-Prairie City. Next pitch, outside corner, called strike. King's next pitch goes off the tip of Anderson's catcher's mitt, and with ease, Copeland comes in, makes the score 10-1, 9-run deficit once again here in the top of the 5th inning. Yeah, that pitch just went right off the tip of Anderson's glove, and it brought Copeland in. Next pitch, inside corner, strike call on Whitman. Whitman, he's been a struggle to pitch to, but King, he's finding the way to get some strikes in on him. Next pitch is down low, makes it a 2-2 count on Whitman. Next pitch from King to Whitman is low and outside. Gets past the catcher just a little bit, takes a few steps, picks it up, throws it back to King. Three-two count for Whitman upcoming. And the next pitch up the middle, and it gets fouled straight back and out of play. Whitman lives to see another pitch. 3-2 count. Stays, and now here comes the pitch from King, and it is up, and that sends Whitman down to first freely. 4 balls. Now we've got the number 3 hole batter, Austin Nelson, who is the catcher. Nelson looking to get another base hit, and this is the first time that he's faced King here in the contest. Whitman takes a decent-sized lead off first, and he takes off. That's a hit-and-run scenario, and he's standing with a stolen base at second. Nelson took a whack at it, and that makes it strike 1. Nice execution of that hit-and-run without the hit. Really nice execution. I'm sure you guys all seen that. And Whitman goes back to second uncontested. Still slides to make sure it's safe. Next pitch is a base hit. Just a nice line drive right to the third baseman. He just couldn't get his glove up in time. We will call that a base hit instead of an error. That puts runners for the cleanup hitter, number 33, Brody Cordell. He now has runners at the corners to add to this 10-1 lead that they control right now. First pitch, no ball thrown back to the pitcher, goes off the glove, play at home, and we have a 10-run deficit now in the favor of the West Prairie Cyclones, 11-1. That comes off an error. There was a man on first and third. Pitch went off the pitcher's hand. The throw from the catcher went off the pitcher's hand, and that ended up being an error and scoring for the Cyclones. Next pitch is low to Cordell. (11-1) here in the top of the fifth. King's next pitch is a little high, but it gets swung at by Cordell for strike two. Strike one, 2-1 count. And next pitch is outside and high. 3-1 count to Cordell. King needs to find that strike zone here and battle back for the Spartans. Next pitch, outside corner, half swing as well, check swing to make it a 3-2 count. King looking to stand strong here, making that comeback. Let's see what he can do here. Here's the pitch. It's down the middle, hit to the shortstop, to Palm. Palm throws it over to first. First baseman pulls his foot and he gets back in time. Gerald Lowe makes a nice call there on the bases for out number 2. Next batter for the Cyclones is number 25, Eli DeCounter, who is the first baseman. He's got a man on third base, 90 feet away, looking for an RBI against King. King's first pitch to him is in the dirt. Anderson keeps it in front so that Nelson cannot advance that 90 feet from third base. 1-0 count from King. Next pitch, down the middle, swung at and missed by the counter to even up the count at 1-1. King's next pitch is outside. Anderson does a nice job keeping the ball in front. 2-1 count from King to DeCounter. DeCounter right now controls this at bat. Pitch down the middle and ball is fouled down the first base line and out of play. 2-2 count. King and the rest of the Spartans hoping that this top half of the fifth inning ends right here. Let's see what happens. Here's the delivery high and inside to make it a 3-2 count. And here comes Coach Dave Arnold to call a timeout. The battery will be coming and the rest of the infield will be coming. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live. I am Brandon Thomas. We will be switching pitchers, so we also will take a break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back here with the continuing of the top of the fifth inning.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
And welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live. brought to you by MDH. We're here at Bushnell High School. I am Brandon Thomas, and we are witnessing a 1 o'clock start here at Bushnell-Prairie City High School as they host the West Prairie Cyclones. We're in the top half of the 5th inning, 2 outs, pitcher change. New pitcher for the Spartans is Jaden Robinson, number 16. He is coming off the dugout for the first time in this afternoon's contest. Name that you haven't heard yet, but now you hear it. Number 16, Jaden Robinson.
Softball player, BPC softball player. You need to head in and get ready for your game. BPC softball players, you can head in to get ready for your game at this time.
And we have a busy day here at Spartanville, Bushnell-Prairie City. As you just heard Dwayne say, the softball team needs to get ready, so there is a softball game going on here at Bushnell High School. Jaden Robinson pitching now for the Spartans, who continue to pitch to Eli to counter for the Cyclones of West Prairie. And I believe it's going to start off at a 3-2 count, I believe is where we was sitting at whenever the pitcher change came. Jaden Robinson's first pitch of the game coming, and it is in the dirt, and I was right. It was a 3-2 count. The counter goes down to first, so now we have the counter and Nelson on the corners for the Cyclones with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Number 21, third baseman Jace Brown for the Spartan Cyclones takes first pitch right down the middle for a strike call. Robinson's next pitch upcoming is outside to Jace Brown. 1-1 count. Men on the corners for Brown. Brown looking to add to this 10-run deficit. Foul ball down the third base line. 1-2 count. Jaden Robinson throwing some strikes, coming off the bench for the first time, and looking pretty good, throwing some strikes for Coach Arnold's squad. Next pitch, as I say, that next pitch is up, makes the count 2-2. Batter steps out for a second now. He comes back into the box, preparing for the next pitch from Robinson. Robinson's next pitch, outside corner, strike 3 called for Sports Corner, strikeout. After the top of the 5th, score is 11-1, West Prairie in the lead. We will be back for the bottom of the 5th inning.
It was the community that really drew me back to Macomb. I'm from a small community, and I'm from a farm family, and ultimately I always wanted to practice in a place like that, and I felt that I had the ability to connect to people who with a similar background from me, and the fact that the staff members at the hospital and the support, all the support staff at the hospital was also focused with the goal of patient care. It felt like it just all came hammered at home for me.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available, so with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Bushnell-Prairie City High School as the Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans trail the West Prairie Cyclones 11-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. Matthew Whitman still pitching for the Cyclones, been pitching really, really well for Coach Bland. Cyclones. But here we've got Connor Palm, the leadoff hitter, the shortstop for the Spartans. That will be leading off here in the bottom of the fifth.
The shortstop, number 2.
And this is high school baseball, so if the Spartans do not score here, that will end the game with a 10-run rule coming in effect. Connor Palm wanting to put a stop to that. Let's see what he can do here against Whitman here in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch from Whitman to Palm is inside. Ball 1. 1-0 count. Next pitch is low and outside. Palm takes a look at it for ball 2. Whitman goes right back to the mound. He doesn't hang his head or anything. He's ready to pitch, and it's low for ball 3. I want him kind of look back like, how did that happen? But Whitman, he's one of those kids that you could tell he stays strong up there on that hill. 4 straight balls. That sends Palm to first base. Next batter, Dylan King, the second baseman.
Dylan King.
Palm, he's one of those kids that you want to take a look at or a double look at because he may just take off. First pitch to Dylan King, straight back for a foul and strike number 1. Whitman ready to set and fire. Takes a look at Palm. And here comes the pitch. Palm takes off. And he's standing in with a stolen base at second. Nelson just kind of had a little bit of trouble of getting the ball out of the catcher's mitt to have that perfect pop-up time. He really did have that pop-up. He just didn't have that control to get the ball out. Next pitch is outside. And King looks at it and takes a ball. Palm now on second, takes a nice lead, not being held on by anybody, not really seeing any movement from those middle infielders. Next pitch is up and high. Two count. Thank you. Sometimes I can't catch the count, and Dwayne helped me there. 2-2 count. And there's the delivery, and that pitch looked really good, and so did Dave Hasley. Think so for a looking strike 3. Sports Corner strikeout. Thomas Anderson steps into the box. Thomas Anderson pops it up, and the catcher looking, and it goes out of play.
For the Spartans, catcher number 3, Thomas Anderson.
Thomas Anderson, number 3, at the plate, looking to bring in Connor Palm from second. And like I said, you're not really seeing the middle infielders coming and holding him on or anything. Anderson takes a whack at it, and it finds a gap, and that's going to bring Palm home, and that saves this 10-run rule from being in effect. It is now 11-2. Spartans are down on the Cyclones, 11-2.
Talon Love.
First pitch to Love, inside corner, strike call. Talon Love takes another pitch, and it is up just a hair for a 1-1 count. Next pitch to Love, coming, takes it right down the middle for a 1-2 count. Next pitch to Love, and he's swinging for strike 3. That is a sports corner. Strikeout by Whitman for the Cyclones. Now batting Xander Jones. Xander Jones looking to continue the inning for the Spartans. Nice curveball, called strike looking. That pitch had a lot of movement for Whitman, and the batter just kind of looked. Batted ball caught by the pitcher Whitman for out number 3. We will also take a break. We'll be back with the top of the 6th inning here on TSSR Game Time Live.
For the Spartans in the bottom of the 5th, 1 run, 1 hit, players, 1 left. At the end of 5 complete, the score is 11-2 in favor of the Cyclones. At this time, we need all BPC high school students to return to your homeroom classes, please. All BPC high school students report to your homeroom classes, please.
I can't find the stuff.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available, so with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. We have entered the top of the 6th inning here at Bushnell High School. I am Brandon Thomas. Bushnell-Prairie City Spartans are down 11-2 on the visiting West Prairie Cyclones. Number 23, Cade Chambers, the second baseman, will be starting off for the Cyclones. And we see Robinson back on the mound for the Spartans, who's pitched a third of an inning. First pitch here in the 6th inning is up too high for ball 1 to Chambers. Next pitch from Robinson to Chambers, upcoming, and there it is. Chambers swings in, misses for strike 1. Count is now 1-1. Strike thrown by Robinson. Let me correct the score there. It is now 11-2. I didn't get that second run up for the Spartans until just now. Ball thrown by Robinson to Chambers. Next pitch will be coming. Chambers steps on the mound, readies himself. Next pitch swung by Chambers and missed for strike 2. Robinson's next pitch is inside for ball 4. Chambers takes his walk down to first base. We start off the 6th inning with a walk. Now batting the 8-hole batter Cam Melvin, the right fielder for the Cyclones. Chambers takes his lead off first. Nice pitch looking by Robinson. 0-1 count to start off. Melvin's at bat here in the 6th inning. Once again, Chambers with a nice lead off first. Pickoff play attempted, and Chambers is back safely, sliding head to first. Robinson double looks, triple looks, now pitches, ball in the dirt. Nice stop by Anderson, and that holds Chambers there at first base. Robinson's next pitch comes right down the middle. Strike call looking on Melvin. 1-2 count. Robinson looks at Chambers hard at first and makes a pickoff attempt. Once again, that's the 2nd time. And Chambers is back safely. Melvin at the plate with a 1-2 count. Robinson delivers. Next pitch inside. He takes a whack at it down to the left fielder. Left fielder makes the catch. And the left fielder is Xander Jones now. Thank you, Dwayne. Xander Jones is now in left field. Makes a nice catch there in left field for out number 1 of the 6th inning. Cole Knuff up now, and he takes strike 1 looking. Got 1 out, got 1 man on first base, and we've got the number 9 hole hitter. Pickoff play attempt, no good. He is in safely. Back to first, Cole Chambers. Cole Chambers, like I said, he takes a nice lead off first base, but he's able to come back with ease, sliding head first every time on those pickoff attempts. And we've got ball 1. Count is 1-1 on Knuff. Next pitch to Knuff down the middle, and he swings and misses. Chambers looking at Coach Bland. I think Chambers is wanting to steal. Strike 3 by Robinson to Knuff for Sports Corner. Strikeout. Now batting Braden Copeland, the man who has reached every time he has reached the plate. Every time he has been walked here in the contest this afternoon. There's a strike down the middle, fouled straight back for strike 1. No official at bats for Braden Copeland. 4 walks. Let's see what happens here with Robinson on the mound. This is the first time that they faced each other here in today's contest. And right there, that looks like it's going to be a gapper. And it is. That's going to bring 1 in for the Cyclones. And that is a triple by Braden Copeland, a triple RBI for Braden Copeland. Copeland is now 1 for 1 with 5 attempts at the plate. And now here comes Matthew Whitman, the man who's been on the mound for the Cyclones the entire game, looking to help himself out a little bit more with an RBI to bring Copeland in 90 feet. First pitch is outside. Nice stop once again by Thomas Anderson. Score now is 12-2, West Prairie in favor. Inside, good thing Whitman didn't move at all on that. He would have been hit. He just kind of stayed there and went on the far side of him. Next pitch from Robinson coming outside corner, I believe. Yes, and it is called a strike looking. 2-1 count. Robinson set for the next pitch. It's inside. One of those pitches from the time before, he just had to stand where he was at, or he would have been hit. 3-1 count upcoming. Next pitch to Whitman. Swung, fouled back, and out of play. Nobody can get to it. 3-2 count for Whitman. Like I was saying, Jaden Robinson, he came off the bench and he got put on to the mound, and he's been throwing a lot of strikes. You're not seeing him walking a lot of people or anything. Just like I said, Copeland got his first hit of the game because he got his first opportunity. Fly ball to the first base side, and I believe Dave Hasley is calling on a foul. Yeah. What happened was the ball did hit in fair, and then it rolled out before the first base bag, so it is a foul ball. First baseman made a nice attempt, and this wind just kind of took the ball and couldn't find his glove on it. So now pitch once again to Whitman from Robinson, and that's going to be a base hit to center field. And that's going to make this game an 11-run deficit. 13-2, West Prairie on top of the Spartans of Bushnell-Prairie City. Austin Nelson, the catcher, next batter for the Cyclones. Robinson to Nelson. Nope, he's going to try a pick-off attempt. And he gets back safely. We've seen Robinson throw some pickoff attempts. He's got a decent move. West Prairie, they just can get back with these still. Next pitch, low in the dirt to Nelson. Anderson really putting in a lot of dirty work, getting those shin guards dirty here this afternoon. Next pitch once again in the dirt, and that's going to send Whitman from first to second. Robinson's next pitch is outside and low, and that's going to send Whitman from second to third. Consecutive pitches has moved Whitman 90 feet. Now Whitman is 90 feet away from scoring run number 14 for West Prairie. Next pitch is up and coming, and he had to reach for that, and that's going to bring Whitman in from third. Base hit, RBI. We now have a 12-point run deficit. 14-2 West Prairie leads. Cleanup hitter Brody Cordell now at the plate. First pitch to him, swinging in. Foul. Back. I couldn't tell if he hit it or if one off the catcher, but Dave Hasley hands the ball to Anderson. 0-1 count. From Robinson to Cordell now, and makes it an even 1-1 count. Pickoff play from Robinson to first base. Gets back with ease. Next pitch coming. Little high, maybe. Foul tipped by Cordell. Cordell looking to get a base hit. That's how he's wanting to get on his by base hit and see what they can do with this runner. Next pitch outside and low. Nice stop once again by Thomas Anderson. There's a lead off at first. There's the pitch. Some movement on the pitch, but it crosses high on Cordell. Next pitch to Cordell is low, and that walks Cordell. Next batter is Eli to counter.
Now batting, first baseman, number 25, Eli to counter.
Eli to counter's got 2 men on base for him. Robinson to look to finish strong here. Pitch a little high for ball 1. Next pitch upcoming from Robinson. Nice pitch. Contact made. And a foul ball. Couldn't even see where that went after the contact was made. But nice contact made by Eli to counter. Like I said, I couldn't see where the ball went. I seen the left fielder going back, but then foul ball was called. Next pitch with some movement, and that makes the counter just watch it go by for strike 2. Robinson looking to finish strong here in the 6th. And next pitch makes the counter back up. And his teammates are telling him to wear it. But knowing the counter, watching this young man play, I know that's not the way that he's wanting to get on base. He's wanting to score, have 2 other people score due to thanks of him. Wild pitch, that ends up moving the 2 runners another 90 feet now. He's got 190 feet away. Just a little bit of contact with a base hit is going to bring him in. Let's see what gets done here. Hopefully Robinson can finish strong here. Next pitch, outside corner. He takes it to the right field side, and it's a fly out to the right fielder to end this top of the 6th inning. West Prairie 14, BPC 2. We will be right back with the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Minimally invasive surgery offers a variety of benefits to the patient. We are now able to offer patients a variety of operations with small incisions rather than big open incisions. The surgeries that we can do now, minimally invasive, include bariatrics, hernia repair, colorectal surgeries, faster recovery, smaller incisions, faster time back to work.
I like to make time for my patients. I don't ever want anyone to feel rushed. I'm happy to sit and talk for as long as they need. And sometimes that puts me behind in my schedule, but I think it's worth it. People know if they need me that I'll be there.
Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live, brought to you by MDH. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning at Bushnell-Prairie City High School, as they take on the visiting West Prairie Cyclones. 14-2 deficit in favor of the Cyclones. I am Brandon Thomas. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live. This was a 1 o'clock start here at Bushnell. They've been playing for about 2 hours, because I think the first pitch ended up at 1:08. We had a ceremonial pitch from Dr. Arnold from MDH earlier. So if you missed that, make sure that you go back and catch the very beginning of the video starting. Bushnell-Prairie City looking to get some runs here. Because like I said, they're in the top of the 5th, or bottom of the 5th. If Bushnell didn't score, that would have ended the game with the 10-run rule coming in effect. Now BPC needs to score 3 runs here in the bottom half of the 6th, or that will end this contest for the day. Starting or opening batter for the Spartans is the third baseman, Nick Jones. And still on the mound for the Cyclones is Matthew Whitman, who has been throwing a great game here today. First pitch fouled off down the third base line into the hands of Coach Dave Arnold. Strike one, 0-1 count. Whitman's next pitch coming is outside, 1-1 count. Nick Jones is the leadoff batter here in the bottom of the sixth for Coach Dave Arnold's Spartans of Bushnell-Prairie City. Next pitch from Whitman to Nick Jones. Nick Jones, nice swing to left field, and the left fielder catches it. Makes a nice catch for the Cyclones and robs the hit from Nick Jones for out number one here in the bottom of the sixth. Next batter is Yoakum for the Spartans. Whitman looks in, gets his sign, blows it past Yoakum for the first strike here at the bat at Yoakum. Next pitch inside corner at about the knees, called strike two. Whitman's next pitch a little low for ball one. Nice waist pitch by Whitman. Whitman releases and outside corner, sports corner, strikeout. Gets Yoakum looking for out number two here in the bottom of the sixth.
First baseman, number 10, Braxton Kemp.
Braxton Kemp up the bat now for the Spartans. Takes first pitch, looking at it, and it is high for ball one. Whitman looking to finish this game off and finish it strong. Next pitch, inside corner on Kemp. Kemp looking, count even at 1-1. Whitman releases inside, backs Kemp off the plate. Ball two, 2-1 count. Kemp in favor here at this bat thus far. Whitman releases, and strike number two looked at by Kemp. 2-2 count. Whitman looking to finish strong here with this pitch. Too far outside to make it a ball. Whitman wanting to finish it, you could tell. Next pitch right at the knees. Called looking, strike three. We end this contest with a sports corner strikeout by Whitman. Final score after 6 innings, 14-2. West Prairie comes in and beats the hosts, the Spartans of Bushnell-Prairie City, here on this windy but yet lovely Monday afternoon. We will be right back to close things out, so don't go anywhere quite yet.
There's been a lot of rewarding parts working at McDonough District Hospital. I've had patients come to me that maybe have not had care in the community, care available, so with the addition of nurse practitioners lately, we've been able to add more care, and that's very rewarding to me. My hope is that when the patients leave at the end of an appointment, they leave and they definitely feel like they've been listened to, and they feel like their needs have been met, their cares have been met, and that they're going to get the proper treatment that they deserve from me as a provider.
You get the opportunity to see so many different things that if you worked at a bigger hospital, you may not be able to see. You know, work is not just about the job, it's also about the people that work alongside you. And we have the best teamwork. They're like a second family. Sometimes you can't get that feeling other places.
Welcome back, TSSR Game Time Live. Brought to you by MDH. Final score after 6. West Prairie 14, BPC 2 in the final. I've got Dwayne Hulett here, who's been doing PA announcing for this afternoon's contest.
Yeah, tons of fun, bud. I been doing some Western PA announcing, get to do some BPC stuff. It's always fun to do this daytime game. I think more schools really should do this. It gets the kids out, gets to see the team play. You know, plus it's just nice, you know, a little school camaraderie. The band's out here playing, they're doing a lot of fun stuff. But pretty good game for the Cyclones. Matt Whitman went a complete 6 innings, gave up only 2 hits and 2 runs. The one run that they gave up in the first run they gave up in the 4th inning was actually an unearned run. So, I mean, when you see that happening, you're having a pretty good game. So he goes a complete 6. I'm sure he was getting close to his pitch limit, but so he won't be good for 5 days probably. But you know, both teams struggling to find wins this year, and when you can get a win, you want to get it right.
Right. West Prairie, they go from 2-11 to 3-11, and Bushnell-Prairie City goes to 0-23 on the year.
It's amazing how few games in comparison West Prairie's played. Coach Bland is here. I'm going to take the headset off and give it to him. You can talk to him for a few minutes.
Coach Bland, head coach of West Prairie, the winning squad, the West Prairie Cyclones. And how about that performance by the man on the hill, Braden Copeland, today? What's your thoughts on that?
No, Matt did a really good job.
Excuse me, Matt Whitman. That's my bad.
You're good. No, Matt did a really good job. He did exactly what we needed him to do. A little rough start at the first inning, but then he settled in after that. He's been doing it all year for us. Goes out, get a lot of strikeouts, minimal balls in play against him, and him to, just go out there and kind of do your job. He does a really good job of that.
Well, since I mentioned Braden Copeland, just think about the patience of him going no official bat until bat number 5, and then he ends up getting a triple with RBIs.
Yeah, no, that was a huge at-bat for him. We slid him into the leadoff spot. We've had him in the 3-hole for the last few games. Just switched something up today, and for him to deliver like that, and, I mean, he got every bit of that baseball. So that was really impressive. And to leg out a triple there, score a run, that's exactly what you want him to do.
And then I know that they do this every year, but what's the prep for the coaching staff and the players to play this early on a Monday?
Everybody's really excited. It's kind of a really cool thing that Arnie's been doing these last few years, and I'm glad that we get to be the ones that get to be a part of it. And they do a really good job. The atmosphere here is really cool. It's so cool to see everybody out, and really the preparation, everything stays the same for us. The kids are excited to get out of school. They're here, they're amped up, and they're ready to go. So really the preparation all stays the same. The standard's the standard for us, and they came here and executed still. So
you speak about the atmosphere. I was kind of joking around. I can always remember as a player and as a coach coming here and it always being windy. For some reason now, being on commentary, here we are yet again.
I think when I helped here for those 4 or 5 years, I don't know if there was a day where it wasn't windy here.
Right.
You know, but we deal with the same thing at Friendway and Colchester where it's like, I don't know, it feels like the wind's always blowing 20 miles an hour. So, I mean, it's nice that we practice in it constantly too, because you're getting an idea of how the ball's moving in the air to the left and right. So, it was so cool to see Cole Kneff, our left fielder, make that catch out there, just a couple steps, and ball finds him. Yes, that was another super weird play, and I was like, just do not get hurt when you land doing that, you know. But just a weird way that the ball flies that way, and you're like, it has a chance. But I didn't really know what Dave was going to call right there, so it gave Matt a new life for sure.
Right. Well, Coach Bland,
I appreciate
thank
it.
you,
Yes.
and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
That's Coach Bland of the winning Cyclones of West Prairie here in today's contest.
Well, you talked about it a little bit there, but Copeland was 0 for 0, 4 at-bats into the game with 4 walks, and then he had the triple. Eli DeCounter had a single and a 3-base error to have a home run on his birthday, so I want to wish him a little bit of a happy birthday there, so that's pretty cool for him. The game kind of got started on the right foot. They had a couple walks from Copeland and Whitman, and then Nelson drove in those 2 guys with a single in the first inning, and that really set the pace and the stage for the Cyclones, and they never trailed in this contest. It was then there was a double with 6 RBIs on the game for Austin Nelson. He had a single, a double, or had 2 singles. He was 4 for 5 with 6 RBIs, 2 singles, or 3 singles and a double. Coach Arnold's coming up here, so it was a good game for Austin Nelson, as well as we'll get Coach Arnold under the headset.
All right. Coach Dave Arnold of the BPC Spartans, a guy who I've known for years, and I've never had the opportunity to interview, so no. I'm sure you're interested on how this is going to go.
Yeah, let's see what Brandon's got here.
So 14-2 deficit here on this windy day. What did you say to the team afterwards?
Oh, we competed. We've been competing. Despite the score, we've been competing all year. They're always upbeat. We've played a lot of games, which I would rather do than practice. These guys are learning a lot from these games that we probably wouldn't get in practices. So we got a young group, we got an inexperienced group, and the Whitman boy for West Prairie is going to, he's tough. So he's going to win some games for them as long as they can play some defense, and he did the job today. So, but our kids battled, and they haven't given up all year, and they didn't do that again today.
Right. Like I was saying, they're in the 5th inning, being down. If you didn't score, you guys were going to be done.
Yeah.
How did I think it was Palm ended up pulling that off, didn't he?
Yeah, Palm took second. He's got a little bit of speed, and he stole second, put us in a good position, and then ended up scoring and keep the game alive for us.
So, like I was asking Coach Bland, what is the prep with the coaches and the players for a 1 o'clock Monday afternoon game?
Well, there's not much prep at all. I'm the one doing all the prepping. They just show up and play. But I've been out here since 8 o'clock this morning trying to get everything all looking good and all of that. So it's not much for them. The strange part for us is it's 3 o'clock and we go home, and we're not used to going home at 3 o'clock. So that's the strange thing. And
that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand. What the coaches in high school do, that having to be out here early in the morning, especially on rain days, that you want to have a game, they don't know what you're putting in as work on that.
Well, it just goes with the territory. If you want things looking nice, our field looks good today, and it's just you do it for the kids and do it for the school, and kids don't want to play in a crummy facility, so you got to do the best you can, and it takes work, but it's worth it.
So you got South Fulton coming up here on the 5th, and they're kind of in the same boat as you guys. So you got any prep on that?
Well, not so much. We've got some very, very winnable games for us coming up. Galva tomorrow, they've struggled a lot. We've got Knoxville coming up. We've got South Fulton. We've got West Prairie again. And we got Peoria Heights still coming up. So even though we're down to the last couple weeks, we've got some real winnable games for us.
All right. Well, thank you, and good luck for the rest of the year. And probably see you again somewhere down the road.
All right. Thanks, Brandon, and thanks, Dwayne, for coming on out today.
Oh, Coach Arnold. Got to love Coach Arnold whenever you can get him on a headset. So I think that'll about do it. What do you say?
Yep. Fun day, fun game, fun atmosphere, as always, here at Bushnell High School. I am Brandon Thomas for Dwayne Hulett. We will catch you next time on TSSR Game Time Live.